Oh, hello. Welcome once again to Stuff and Things, where I like to talk about stuff and occasionally even things. I'm your good friend Bradley, and today is a Sunday Stuff and Things. And on this Sunday Stuff and Things, we have stuff and things to talk about, including upcoming videos, things that you can look forward to on Stuff and Things and working. We're going to have a mail call. It's been a while since I opened a bunch of packages on a Sunday Stuff and Things, so I have a little bit of a buildup of things that I've received to my P.O. box. I'm going to be showing you things that I'll be reviewing in the future, so stay tuned for that. We'll have a quick NFL update, of course, and then we will have your questions, comments, and feedback in hashtag askstuffandthings. So let's get into it. All right, gang, so what can you look forward to on Stuff and Things and working? Well, this coming week, we are doing the listening party episode on Blondie's album Parallel Lines from 1978. I wrote down 1178 here, but it was 1978. So I got not really copyright strikes on every single song that I featured from the album. So the way the video works is I'm discussing the history of the album. I play part of the track, I stop it, I'm talking about what's going on in the track. I'm making comments throughout. By every definition, that should be fair use because I'm transforming the original. My video is not a replacement for listening to the original. If you want to listen to that album without a doofus interrupting it every 2 seconds, you need to go out and buy the album. So by every definition, it should be fair use. Every single song got hit with a copyright. I disputed every single one. Every single dispute was overturned. So I think you guys can still watch it. I'd like you to still watch it if you can. Obviously, I can't monetize it. That's fine. It's blocked in a few countries. I think Belarus and Russia, it's blocked. It might be blocked in a few other countries, but I think most of you can see it. It probably won't show up in your feed unless you go look for it because it can't be monetized. They're not going to be pushing a video like this. But I'd love it if you guys watched it. If enough of you do, and if you like it, I might do more of them. But it does seem like it's going to be pretty tough and quite a bit of a hassle to put videos like this out. I don't really get how there are all these channels on YouTube that are just reacting to music, where they will literally just sit, press play, they'll listen to an entire song or an entire album, and then they'll give their reaction on it. And they all seem to be able to monetize their videos. They all seem fine. I don't know how. I don't know what I'm missing here, but this video, we'll see. We'll see if you guys like it. If enough of you do, we might do more. The week after that, we will be doing a little review on Sutliff Silver Quarter, part of their 175-year anniversary celebration. An interesting blend, and one that hit a little better for me than a lot of the more recent Sutliff blends I have reviewed. And then we're going to have, well, I can't reveal what this is yet because it's going to be in one of these packages, I think in this package, but it'll be a journal-related review that we'll be doing. And then we also have working episode 37 out right now, hanging on the telephone, little Blondie reference there. It's showing us pouring a footing with a pump truck and everything, but there's a lot of the just slightly irritating administrative stuff that you have to do when you're trying to get an inspection and schedule concrete and do all these things when you don't know when you're going to get an inspection or how it's all going to work together. So it's a little bit of a glimpse into that side of the construction job. And then just all sorts of other stuff coming up. I'm expecting some products for review and a lot of other good stuff on the channel. So stay tuned. All right, gang, but that brings us to mail call. We have several packages that have come to my P.O. box recently, and we're gonna yank these guys open. I realize I don't have a knife on me right now, but, okay, so this is what I think it is. This is from Brad in North Carolina. Wow, I hope everything's going okay for you with all the flooding and everything. I hope you didn't have any bad damage. This is gonna be the journal-related thing. This is a package from tpipes.com, which I think basically means Sutliff. So we have a package here. This should be an interesting blend for us. And then I also got a package from Docu Magazine. So we're going to explain this in a little bit as well, but some interesting stuff. Let me go get a knife. Leatherman Skeletool. Okay, let's start with this. This is the package from teapipes.com/Sutliff. So we will chop into this baby. I'm expecting it's another blend for us to check out on the channel. I'm gonna have to intersperse some non-Sutliff stuff on the channel though, because they've been sending me a lot of things lately. Now, this is interesting. Looks like we have a little bit of an information note on the top. Oh, wow. Ooh, okay. We have a bunch of packaging material, but then a very large tin. Holy crap. This is interesting. Okay, let's make sure there's nothing else in here. There is not. Fascinating, and it looks very spooky October-y. We have a giant tin, I've heard of this, of Maple Shadows 2 by Sutliff. So this is a big old tin. This is insane. Let's see, Sutliff. Oh my God, look at the font on the back of this. Can you read that? I certainly can't with my horrible eyes now. Let me go grab my glasses. So we have this little information packet, so maybe I should read this first. This is crazy. This is huge. I don't know why it's so gigantic, but here we go. Oh, look at this. It's really tough. Maple Shadows 2, launch date, October 1st, 2024. MSRP is $31 for an 8-ounce tin, so this is a big old tin, but that's without any of the taxes and stuff that you're going to be paying, depending on where you are in the world. As the chilling winds of autumn draw eerie prattle from contorted deciduous limbs, we find ourselves possessed by the spirit of the season. Bewitched by a dissonant charm, we've created Maple Shadows. In a season that is defined by the unlikely harmony of treats and frights, we've joined the enchanting sweetness of maple with the earthy spice of dark-fired Kentucky, for a smoking experience that captures the scene or the senses with an otherworldly fusion of flavor. Interesting. So it's an aromatic. I know that Maple Shadows existed. I don't know if they did it last year or the year before. I can't remember, but I never had it. And I knew that there was some maple flavor added. And dark-fired Kentucky. Wow. So that should be really interesting. Dark-fired Kentucky with the enchanting sweetness of maple. This could be something in the I'm not going to like this series, because just off the bat, that's not the kind of flavor profile that I'm typically into. But very fascinating, and that's great for this time of year. So thank you, Sutliff, so much for sending this along. I will definitely do a video on this and check this out. I better do it soon, though, because we are in October. Very cool. Okay. Next, we have a package from Brad. So this is from Brad Lee, and I am Bradley. This is Brad Lee. Interesting. They have a company called, let me make sure I get the Etsy. Etsy shop is Woodsy Balms Leather. So I'm going to be doing a video on this specific journal or journal cover soon. I think that'll be posting, well, it's the one I mentioned. It'll be not this week or the week after, but the week after that. So stay tuned for that, but I'll just pop this baby open right now, if I can, and take a look. So for those of you who are into the Midori Traveler's Notebook, this might be something that you enjoy. Let's see here. Oh, I'm pulling something out. Not pulling the rest. Come on now. There we go. I think that's everything. So here we go. We have a little Midori style notebook. This is actually a green, but it's a really dark green. I like that a lot. It smells, oh wow. It smells like leather, but it smells like old leather. It smells like the closet under my grandparents' stairs. That's a very, very specific odor that I remember very well. But inside, he has, you know, these cheap little composition notebooks, and I guess he was using these and he wanted to make a journal cover for them. So it fits that. I don't know how great these are going to be with a fountain pen. I'll test that for sure, but I have a feeling this is going to fit some other little notebooks as well, so we'll check that out. But it's basically, you know, pretty much a copy of the Midori, the passport size notebook. We'll compare that to the passport size in the video and everything. The thing with this is that they are much cheaper. I think they're 20 bucks. Looks like it's probably wider, so you might be able to fit the Midori inserts in there, but it'll probably not fill the entire thing. But you know, these little composition notebooks, I'm not sure what the actual designation of these would be. They're 4.5 by 3.25. But I don't know what that is as far as European sizes and American sizes, whatever. But I'm sure you can find other notebooks like this that have a little bit better fountain pen paper, but we'll see. We'll check all that out in the review. I want to thank Brad Lee for sending this along. He has a little note here. Hope you enjoy this mini pocket journal. The cover is full grain oil tan leather. It works well in the back pocket. It's handcrafted with love, care. Refills can be purchased at Dollar General or Walmart. $3 for one, or no, 3 for $1. These can be purchased for $20 plus $5.50 shipping in my Etsy shop. Thank you for taking the time to review it. Sincerely, Brad Lee. Well, thank you for sending it along, Brad Lee. I will do that review soon. And last but not least, a little shameless self-promotion here, gang. I have a package here from documagazine.com. This has to do with my photography. If you haven't yet, check the link in the description box below, and it has my photography-focused Instagram, Bradley A. Victor, where I post mostly street photography shots. It's something I've been very serious about recently. And recently, this company approached me, Docu Magazine. They basically do printing for people. There are a lot of companies out there that like, oh, you're a photographer. We'll publish your work for you. And then it turns out that they want you to pay them. Docu Magazine does not do that. They do it for free, but then you don't make any money. Basically, they print out a little mini zine for you. And I don't think they do it for just anybody. I think they have to at least think that your stuff is okay, because they put it on their website. They also do print an actual, I think, quarterly photography magazine. So they're trying to be more high-end. They're not just like, oh, any old person who wants to make one of these will do it for them. But it's not as though I've been selected to be like, ooh, look, we're going to we want to print your photographs because we think you're worthy to be published. It's kind of meh. But they'll print it up. It's pretty nice. And then people can purchase it for a really reasonable price compared to how much it costs to get things printed. I've looked around online for this. And like I said, I don't make any money, but I retain all the rights to the photos and everything. And it's just a cool way of getting some work out there in physical form. So we have this. It's the Docu Magazine Bradley A. Victor Special Edition. And it just has some of my recent work, spring and summer of 2024 in here. Some photographs that I have taken over the last few months. I can't really hold this up and do this properly, but 20 of the shots that I picked at the time, I'd probably pick different ones now because it's always evolving, the things that I'm enjoying. But you can see some of these. The printing is really nice. I think they turned out well. You always wonder what the color is going to look like when it's printed up. But I think there are 20 photos in here, and I think it's pretty cool. And if you want to go purchase some, I will put a link in the description box below. And as I said, I don't make any money, but it's just a cool way of getting some work out there. I think it's pretty neat. So there you go, documagazine.com. And I will put a link. And the other good thing is that they ship from Seattle. So it's a company called Blurb that does the printing. And they seem to be located in Seattle, Washington. So when I ordered a few copies for myself, they took a couple days to print, but then they shipped in like a day, or they got to me in a day once they shipped, because I live in Bellingham, Washington. They were made in Seattle, Washington. So lots of cool stuff there. All right, I'm wearing my Seahawks hat. We will have a brief NFL update. So the Seahawks lost last week. They were on Monday Night Football playing the Detroit Lions. I was hopeful until like just before the game when I realized that 5 of their starting defensive front were out with injuries. So that was pretty tough. So now they're 3-1, but hopeful points from the game is that their offense does look freaking amazing. Kenneth Walker, their running back, was back and looking fantastic as well. So I think if they can hang around, they should be, well, I don't want to jinx anything, but they're playing the Giants this week. Malik Neighbors is injured for the Giants. He was their new receiver who was looking amazing. I don't think he's going to play. I think the Seahawks have a good chance of beating the Giants. So then if they're at 4-1, if they can start getting some of these defensive players back, their offense looks amazing. I think we really have a chance. My prediction was that they'd win the NFC West. They're number 1 right now, early in the season. We'll see. And they still haven't played any of their NFC West rivals yet. But yeah, looking pretty interesting, looking pretty fun. Some other things that just have occurred to me so far throughout watching some of the games this season. What is with the tackling in the NFL now? It's something I've noticed for the last few years, but it's really just atrocious for the most part. I don't understand why people can't seem to tackle anymore. And that's one thing that's actually stood out for the Seahawks is that by and large, their tackling has looked really good. I haven't delved into the stats, but just the eye test, they look pretty good, except for the last game. They weren't looking great. But usually they're tackling really well. But I just see this all the time where there'll be somebody running. They get 3 different defenders they don't wrap people up. I think they're always trying to punch the ball out or something, or they're just like lowering a shoulder and hitting the person and not wrapping them up and taking them to the ground, which is your job. Tackle. I don't understand why people aren't tackling. Or they'll just kind of like, they'll hit them glancingly and just sort of like, but they don't get in front and wrap up. Wrap them up. I don't understand this. And I do think it's a lot of them just trying to punch out. Maybe they're analytics or something that show that even if you don't get the tackle by trying to force a turnover, maybe that from like a statistically large sample will be better in the long run. I don't know, but it's really irritating to see how bad the tackling has been. And also, every year I try to purchase a piece of Seahawks memorabilia, but not memorabilia, like clothing, something cool that I can wear to be like, hey, the Seahawks. I think I bought this last year before the season. This year, I came across something that I wanted so badly, but it unfortunately had just sold out before I realized that it existed. But there's this company called Homage or Homage. I don't know if they pronounce it the American way or the French way. Homage. They're in Ohio. They used to do a lot of sort of Ohio college sports memorabilia and clothing. Now they do a lot of stuff for NFL as well, and they do really cool old school designs. I actually got one thing from them, which is this very cool old school style Seahawks sweatshirt. Love that. But they did a collaboration with Starter. You guys remember the old Starter jackets back in the 80s and 90s? The satin bomber jackets. So it was Homage X Starter, and they did these satin jackets. They are kind of recreations of the 80s and 90s jackets, and they did one for the Seahawks. They did them for every team. The Seahawk one looks better than the original one did in the 80s and 90s because they actually have the logo here instead of just like script that says Seahawks. They have Seahawks in green on the back. They look absolutely fantastic. I want one so badly, but they're all sold out. And I've been trying to correspond with them. I was like, hey, I'd like to do a video on this sometime. Not asking for one for free, but just asking like, are they going to be back in stock? And it's weird how like the representative there doesn't seem to understand. It's very strange. Like the first one I asked was, hey, are these going to be restocked? And they said the pullover ones will be restocked because they have like a windbreaker pullover. I said, no, not the pullover, the satin jacket. Will those be restocked? There will not be a restock this year. It's like, okay, but I wrote again, okay, but will they be restocked at all? And if so, when? And then the response was, we did a all black version, but we didn't do the Seahawks one. That was this year. I was like, no, but will these ones ever be restocked? The ones that I am interested in, the Homage X Starter Seahawks satin jacket size medium. Will they ever come back, or is this it? Am I never going to have a chance to get them again? And for some reason, I have not been able to get an answer on this. So this is my request to you. I'm going to use my powers for evil here this year. I want one of these jackets very badly. I will pay the full price for them. I will not pay. I saw one on eBay that was a large. I think I need a medium, and it was over twice what they cost new, which is ridiculous. I think people are scalping these. I don't know how many were actually made. I'm not going to pay that much, but I want one badly, and I want to do a review on it very badly. The Homage X Starters Seahawks satin jacket. It is the bomber style satin jacket. I need it in medium. I will pay the normal price. There are a lot of fake ones out there. I don't even know what the actual jackets look like, but you'll see on eBay and all sorts of places, they show the picture of the Homage jacket, but they're not selling the Homage jacket. They're selling it for like 80 or 90 bucks, and it's not the Homage jacket. I know that for sure. So I think Homage was the only place that actually sold these. So if you're finding them anywhere else, they're going to be fake. But yeah, I want one badly. If anyone's watching who is from Homage, I want one. I want to know when they're going to be back. I would like to purchase one and review it on the channel. So let me know. And if any of you out there have one and you don't like it, I'll buy it from you, as long as it's not disgusting, if it looks new. I think that's it. All right, gang, I'm already going so long. We're over 20 minutes, and I haven't even gotten to hashtag askstuffandthings yet. Remember, if you have a question or comment for me, you can tweet at SATBradley with the hashtag askstuffandthings. If you are a Patreon supporter, you can write to me on Patreon, go right to the front of the line. You can hit that super thanks button under this video and go right to the front of the line. Or you can leave questions, comments, and feedback in the comment section of my YouTube videos, like many of you did last week for Sunday Stuff and Things. I couldn't even get like 1/100th of the responses for the last week's Sunday Stuff and Things on here, so I just picked through some of them. At Lord Hogarth, at Lord Hogarth said, R.I.P. Conan, a fellow voluptuary. And I like that because, you know, I was mentioning how my poor little hamster Conan, he loved a good meal. And he died. At Robbie7441, oh, that's sad to hear. Sorry, Bradley. R.I.P. Mr. Conan. At Solar Labyrinth said, R.I.P. Conan. I was actually just thinking about your gerbils this week while I was watching Conan the Barbarian in honor of James Earl Jones passing away. Yep, our good friend James Earl Jones, who was in Conan the Barbarian as the evil wizard overlord with the amazing haircut. If you've never watched Conan the Barbarian, you should check that out. And that's where Conan and Subotai, the names for my gerbils, came from. And then Atlas Brady said, I just finished a novel in which one character always referred to poisonous snakes, etc. So we were talking about grammar problems. And another character would correct him saying venomous, not poisonous. I'd never thought about that one before. Yeah, that's something that occurs to me as well. So poisonous is something that, if something is poisonous, you have to ingest the poison, or venomous is something that is envenomating you. It's either like injecting you or biting you in some way and injecting poison or venom into you. Poisonous is more passive, I guess, where you either have to lick a frog's back or you have to ingest the thing. Like, I think that's the distinction there. And then at Meandering Oranges says, I used to be annoyed by the verbization of gifted until I learned there are tons of verbs we use all the time that were never verbs in the first place. Sleep is one that always used to be a noun and gained its verbhood decades ago. Really? I would assume it's more than decades ago. To sleep, perchance to dream. Yeah, like Shakespeare was using sleep as a verb. I don't know about that. I think I believe you. Well, I will give you the benefit of the doubt, but sleep seems like it's been a verb for a very long time. And I have no issue with that, so I'm somewhat less annoyed by new verbizations. All right, I'm gonna hold that in abeyance until I can check that out for sure. But thank you for that. That's interesting if it's true. At Spike Herbert 391, Sutliff Silver Quarter is good, unlike some of their previous blends. Another good video, sir. I think it is pretty good. Check out that review that's coming up. And then we had so many responses for the pipes versus burning sticks video that I could only get a fraction of these out here. By the way, it's funny because in that video, I don't try to monetize videos that deal mostly with pipe teas. And so I don't care if I say the S word or the C word or the P word or any of those words in the videos, but it's so funny how everyone in their responses was using burning sticks for the C word. And I think because I put it in the title, but then when I was speaking about it in the video, I was just saying the C word. I enjoy that term, burning sticks, and it seems like a lot of you do as well. Anyway, we had at 03, or no, is that a 0 or a O? I guess it's an O. 030 Flow. Spot on. It's very much the same for me. I do like the taste of mini burning sticks, especially in the higher price segments, but it's nothing compared to the wide range of pipe blends out there. Sometimes I get more out of a cheap pipe than an expensive burning stick. When I'm in a group of friends, I often go to the burning stick because of its simplicity, but when I'm sitting alone, or when I'm essing alone, I will always go for the relaxation only a pipe can give. The prepping and careful essing and just diving into the different flavors is just a different level of enjoyment. At Jirexify88 says, I was primarily a burning stick person for several months or several years, at times essing 2 or 3 per day. In the last year, I became a pipe guy and I'm thrilled. Cost is huge, yes. Initial outlay maybe if you're getting expensive pipes, but then I think the blends are cheaper than getting burning sticks. But variety is huger. LOL, I have 5 DFK blends, I'm assuming Dark Fire Kentucky, yeah, that are all wildly different, similar to your experience. Even with my time with them, the sticks all taste very similar. I'm very happy to have made the jump now. If I could just get this tad under control, I guess T acquisition syndrome or disorder. Thank you for writing in. At Do Not Need One, burning stick for me is for when I want to enjoy some tea and not have to carry all the accoutrements. I can have the burning stick already punched when purchased and simply carry fire to ignite it. I don't know why I can't read today. When I want to slow down and grab a blend of tea specific to my mood or craving, and I have all the items needed to tamp and relax, I will always go for the pipe. It is much more religious and slowing down my life process that the pipe gives the reward is well worth the time it takes. Great vid and 100% agreed on your points. Thank you. And then we have so many more. At John Wayne 8114 said, teas are about $9 here in Europe. Oh no, Toscanos are about $9 here in Europe, and you get 10 sticks that S at least half an hour. Wow, that's a good deal. They're unlike any other C for many reasons and don't need any humidification. You can even crush them and put them in a P. Of course, a P is the more optimal way to enjoy a great variety of teas, but the C's have their own charm if you get into it. Also, it may sound silly, but a P sometimes makes people look at you weird. I can see that. I enjoy it quietly at home, but a small charoute is the way to go if you just want it on the go. At Jacko Brogers 8000 says, I love both, but prefer burning sticks. To me, burning sticks give off a heavier flavor and don't have to be babysit like a pipe. And finally, at Jada G0006, how are we doing on time? You forgot to talk about the cost of the P. Yeah, you could just buy a corn cob, but show me a pipe esser that doesn't have at least 20 pipes in their house. Some of these guys have thousands. You definitely need to try more burning sticks if you think they all taste the same. Padron 2000 isn't bad by any means. I'm about to run out of time, but that's their lowest offering. Try 1964 or 1926. Try Dumbarton Stillwell Star. Send me your address and I can send you some stuff to try. Patreon is lying to me about supporters. Send me your address and I can send you. Okay, this video is definitely going too long. My 30-minute timeout on my camera went off. We were just finishing at JDaw's comment. Send me your address and I can send you some stuff to try. That will not be necessary. Several people were annoyed because they thought I was saying that all burning sticks taste the same. Need some coffee. I wasn't saying that. I said that the flavor profile of burning sticks, it's like coffee. Coffee tastes like coffee. You can have all sorts of different varieties of coffee, and you will taste differences. There are nuances, but they all taste like coffee. And I think with pipes, there is just a wider variety. A Dark Fire Kentucky blend tastes very, very different from a really citrusy, bright Virginia blend. Something that has really heavy Latakia. The flavor profile is just so different from, again, like a vapor or something like that. And I think with burning sticks, yes, there is nuance. And obviously I have a favorite kind of the kind I've tried. I like Padrones. And obviously I wouldn't have a favorite if I thought they all tasted the same. It wouldn't matter which one I had. Yes, there are differences. They do taste different, but I don't think the variety is as wide as there can be with pipes. Obviously, there are probably some outliers out there, but in general. But yeah, thank you guys for all that feedback. Please keep it coming in. Really helps make the show go. But now, it is time for the very best part of the show, and that is where we thank our Patreon supporters. I want to point out that Patreon has been very annoying lately with my relationship manager. I want to have everyone listed, people who are the $25 and up supporters, so I can give them the shout out. And sometimes they disappear and reappear, and I can't tell who's on the list and who's not on the list. So if I don't read you out and you're on the list, please let me know, because according to the relationship manager, we've lost a few of our $25 supporters. And it seems as though that's actually the case, but I can't always tell for sure if that's actually the case. So we have some spots open. If you guys would like to support us on Patreon, there is a link in the description box below, and it is much appreciated. It helps make the show go. We talk about monetization sometime on here because a lot of the videos that have to do with this stuff cannot be monetized. The listening party video I'm about to post can't be monetized, probably can't even be seen by some of you. We'll see. So it really helps make it possible for me to keep making these videos. So if you like any of the content that I put out on Stuff and Things or Working, your support on Patreon, link in the description box below, is much appreciated. But every week we shout out those who support the channels at $25 or more a month. The producers, people like Glenn Dunnington, Jason Buckner, Arcturus, Ashes of the Phoenix, Jonathon Proctor, Charles Mowers, and the Friendly Piper. And of course, the Maniacs, the crazy people who support the channels at $100 a month, people like Bob Magee and Ryan McFadin. And we'll never forget our dearly departed friend and Hall of Fame member, Peter Straub. Gang, thank you so much for watching. Went long this week, but that's okay. Stay tuned for all the good stuff coming up on both channels, and be sure to check out the links that I have in the description box below. You can find my docu magazine, little 20 pictures zine. Like I said, none of this money goes to me, but it would just be cool if some of you bought this, because it'd be neat to know that some of you have these physical copies out there. Check out the Patreon, check out my photography Instagram, check out all the stuff that is check-outable. But until next time, until we meet again, I'm your good friend Bradley. You've been the audience. This has been Stuff and Things on a Sunday. Stuff and Things. I'll see you later. Oh.